What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. This is Tosh Time, and we're about to get into finances. Today, we're going to be speaking on what is a finance charge. I know. A lot of you know what a finance charge is, and if you do, congratulations. But there are a lot of us out there that don't know what a finance charge is. They don't know why it's assessed. They don't know how to avoid it. So we're just going to get into it just to kind of open you up and get you going. So the first thing I do want to cover, and I am going to read this verbatim, is the legal terminology on what specifically a finance charge is. So, according to Google, aka Wikipedia, a finance charge is any fee representing the cost of credit or the cost of borrowing. It is interest accrued on and fees charged for some forms of credit, like a credit card, a mortgage loan, an auto loan, a personal loan, so on and so forth. But I'm here to give you the breakdown, aka layman's terms. Basically, a finance charge is a fee that the bank charges you for allowing you to borrow money. I know the definition just said it, but I'm giving you a better breakdown. That's what it is. All right, so let's talk about when does a finance charge post to your account? Okay, let's use this example. You apply for a credit card, you get approved, you receive your credit card in the mail, you activate the card, now you're ready to go. You're ready to make some purchases. You make your purchases. A few weeks later, you get your very first bill in the mail. Now this bill is going to be a very simple bill. Whatever you've billed or charged to the credit card, that is exactly what you're going to see. Because right now, the bank doesn't know if you're going to be this type of a payer or this type of a payer. Now, there's two types of payers, so to speak, or customers in reference to a credit card account. You're either a revolver or you are a transactor. And we'll discuss that in another video. So you definitely want to stay tuned. But let's go off of this analogy. You get your bill, and let's just say you went out and you spent $200 buying yourself some clothes. Let's just say that bill will come in, and that bill will say you owe $200 as your current balance, or you can just pay the minimum due. This is all we need on this balance of $200. Just pay us $30, and you're good. You can keep on using your card. Okay. Now, if you can't afford to pay that whole $200 in one whop by your due date, and you just decide to pay the $30, or you pay any amount but less than the balance of $200, then rest assured that when your next billing statement closes out, the bank has now determined that you are a revolver. Therefore, it's time to add on those finance charges to the account. And that will continue every single month if you do not pay that balance in full or pay it to zero. All right, so let's do a quick little breakdown, only because I've heard some people use the terminology interchangeably. And although they're very related and one kind of works off the other and vice versa, there is a slight difference. So there is a difference in a finance charge versus an interest charge. Okay, so just to kind of give you a simple breakdown, an interest charge is the actual annual percentage rate. So an interest charge would be your credit card saying your annual percentage rate is 20%. If you carry a balance over, you're going to be billed 20% annually for the balance that you've carried over per month. Versus a finance charge is the dollar amount of the interest charge. So if you're being charged an interest charge of, let's just say 20%, for example, and based on your balance, then your finance charge or your dollar equivalent for that might be, okay, $50 on a billing, on your cycle. So just keep those in mind, that there is a difference from a finance charge. Finance charge is the dollar value that you're being assessed, and the interest charge is the percentage of what your account is being assessed. I just want to throw that out there. It's just a little personal knowledge Boom. All right. So let's just say now you've had your credit card for 5, 6 months. You're carrying a balance over each month, and you're seeing every month, here's this finance charge, here's this finance charge. One month the finance charge was $17. The next month it was $21. The next month it was $16. The next month, $25. There's a fluctuation. And that is true. There will always be a very slight fluctuation or a great fluctuation in your finance charges because, once again, it's based on one, the number of days in a billing cycle. Two, is based on your balance, or rather your ADB, which is your average daily balance. So the higher of a balance that you've had throughout your billing cycle, the more finance charges you're going to be assessed when that cycle closes out. Okay, so keep in mind it is normal to see fluctuations in your finance charges based on the balance that you're carrying, based on payments that you're making to the account as well. Now let's jump into that. Yes. Now, how do we avoid finance charges? Because ultimately, who wants to pay to use a credit card? That's where you get hip to the game of how the game really works. The way that you avoid finance charges, and we'll just use the analogy here, or the example, okay? If you're starting out with a fresh credit card, meaning you just got the credit card, it's at a zero balance, or let's just say you've worked hard to pay that balance to zero, but now you want to use it because you don't just want the credit card to close out, for example, due to inactivity, right? How do you avoid finance charges? Monitor your purchases. Only spend what you can afford to pay back. All right, so either you don't carry a balance over each month, and whatever you charge to that credit card, you are prepared to pay that off in its entirety by the next due date. Okay, or if that's not the predicament that you're in, because everyone's predicament is different, and if you have to carry a balance over each month, because let's just say you've racked up a $5,000 credit card balance because you didn't know any better, you racked that balance up, but now you can't afford to pay it off in its entirety, you have to make monthly payments. Stop using the credit card, especially if you can. Now, if you can't, I understand. If you have to use that credit card to kind of float money, to use it for gas, to use it for food, to use it to pay a bill over here until your paycheck hits, please understand. Been there, done that. I completely understand. But I'm just giving you options so that as your money starts to flow in, as you become more knowledgeable of how this game works, then you'll save money, okay? So you either pay your balance in full each month, or you stop using the credit card and just focus on making your payments, even if all you can pay is the minimum due. At least by stopping use of the card, your balance won't increase. And with those minimum payments, it will take a lot longer if all you could afford is the minimum payment due, but you will begin to see your balance drop down little by little. And as your balance reduces, then so will your monthly finance charge. That will begin to reduce as well. And listen, a penny earned is a penny saved. A penny saved is a penny earned. Well, I know that's the saying, but the point is, those pennies begin to add up, okay? Those pennies definitely begin to add up. So if you are on the road to your financial freedom, and understand this, everyone's vision of financial freedom is going to be different from the next person's. You may have some similarities, but what one person is comfortable with, another person may not be comfortable with, and so on and so forth. So you figure out what you want financially, and then you come up with a plan that's going to work for you. Once again, today, I just touched on finance charges because that's an important thing to know. You need to know why you're assessing finance charges. How can you avoid it? How can you reduce the finance charges that you're assessing on your credit card account? And I just wanted to give my input. Always keep in mind, though, do your own due diligence, okay? Me personally, I'm here because I know a little bit about finances, and I'm giving you my personal take on finances. But just like how I do for myself, when I go out here and I research and I listen to other people and get their input on finances, I then put my own spin on that information that I've received to make it work for me. And I highly encourage anyone watching this video or any other video or any article you read to do the same. You don't have to follow a plan necessarily verbatim to be successful. You want to figure out what's going to work for you so that you'll stick with it long term and you'll see the results. So I thank you guys for tuning in. I got more videos coming. And like I said, I'm just here to give a general idea. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. Now go on out there and get to working on your financial freedom. Catch you on the next one.